Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Gym of All Trades channel. This is another episode of Bitcoin and Litecoin technical analysis. It is, what's today? Today's Wednesday, isn't it? Today's Wednesday, April the 24th, 2019. Glad you're with me. Today we're just going to look at what Bitcoin and Litecoin are doing on the charts and see if we can make sense of the Elliott wave count and see where we think price is heading. I've been spending most of the morning just kind of watching price and seeing what's going on, and sometimes you just have to sit back and let price do its thing so you can see some clarity in the market. And you still don't have perfect clarity, but I want to begin showing you what we want to do with this episode is just try to help you with our mindset. How do we think about the chart as it's being created, and how do we develop potential scenarios and what we're looking for and targeting particular trades? And we're right in the middle of a particular potential trade that might be pretty decent. We want to take a peek at it and see what's going on. So I'm going to skip the major count for you. You'll have to go back in previous videos to take a peek at it. So if you want to see where we are in the Bitcoin chart, we are I believe, in the top of wave 3. The question is wave 3, is this fifth wave of 3 complete? We're not sure. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at a subdivision here of 1, 2. Now this could be 3 here with a 4 here, or this could be the top of the third wave of the fifth wave of 3. It's hard to kind of keep track of, but it's potential. So that could be 3. We're coming down for 4, and then we'll go up for 5 to finish out this fifth wave of the third wave. So you can kind of see how that subdivision plays out right in front of you there. This is the third wave of the third wave. So you can see this 3 here is the large count. This five right here is the fifth wave of that third wave, and then we have the sub count. The purple is the sub count of that fifth wave, and so that's what I think is being created right now. I think we're coming down a little further for a correction, but I'm not positive on that. We could actually be done. There's a potential trade right here. So let's look at why we think of that, and can we make sense of it. So right now we're in the 15-minute chart, and price has been coming down since yesterday, since yesterday's top. And we are looking at now. So what we see is we've got a wick to the high of about 56, and that's what I said it would do. It's not exactly how I thought it would happen, but man, it sure went right up there, didn't it? So that could be our top. That could be the top of wave 5. We could be done. Not certain. We have to see what plays out here. Now, what's been happening is we came straight down, and then we made 3 waves up. So when I see that, that tells me, okay, I've got 3 waves to the upside. And it's kind of a clear 3 waves here. You can see there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 waves over to that side. That tells me there needs to be, if you see 3 waves, that is corrective. So this is 3 waves in the upward direction. That's corrective. That means we should be coming down in 5 waves, which I see developing here potentially. They may already be developed, and we are actually and so the question is, how do we know? Well, I put the fibs on here. Well, first of all, let me go down to the 1-minute chart. That's going to kind of blow some people's minds here, but let's just kind of look at this from the minutia here. Oh wow, let's try the 3-minute chart. There we go. That might be a little bit better. And let's go over here and see this first push down. That first push down is very fast and hard, and it's hard to count it. But what you'll see, if I can get it over there, there we go. You've got a wave that came down. There's 1. This little green is up for 2, and we've come down for 3. That's 3 waves right there. You may count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think it's 5 waves. I think it's 3 waves. Right, the subdivision looks better at 3 waves. Then we've got 3 waves to the upside. Now I want to show you something here. Let me go back to the 15-minute chart. So because we have, there we go. I'm all over the place today with the charts, so forgive me. When you're dealing with smaller time frames, that's sometimes what happens here. I'm going to clear off some of these subwaves here just so we can kind of see what's going on with the fibs here. There we go. That's a little bit clearer. Now, what we'll see here is if I put my fibs here, we start at the top, we go down to the swing low to the swing high, which is over here. Okay, this would be an A, a B, and a C, and we've come down to the 1276, and we have reacted off of it. So we came down, we reacted off of it. We have this should be A, B, and then a C should be 5 waves. Now this is a very tiny one wave, and I'm not sure if that's the count or not, but this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 5 waves of C, which means we're coming up for 1, 2, and then we should be coming up for 3, 4, 5. Now that's a potential. We don't know what's going to happen. So here's the way we think about it. We say, okay, if this ABC is complete. Okay, if this A, B, C is complete. We had a reaction off the 1276. You can see this wick just below it, and then it reacted off of it. That means we need to see 5 waves going to the upside, with followed by 3 waves, and then 5 waves continuing on. So the question is, do we see that? Well, again, let's kind of go down to the 5-minute chart here so we can count these waves a little bit better. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we've got 1, 2. This is up for 3, down for 4, up for 5. This 4 wicks down into the 1, so that's a tough little call right there. That may have invalidated it, but I'm not sure. So either we're dealing with a corrective wave here, an ABC, with a truncated C, and we're coming down for 5 waves, or that is a beginning diagonal 1 wave, and we're dealing with a 2. So this is what it would look like if it were a 1. So we got a 1, a 2, and then we'd be coming up for 3, 4, and 5, somewhere up in that region. Pay no attention to the exact placement of those. It's just kind of representation of what we're kind of looking at. So if this is the case, we need to see price stopping about here. It cannot break this low. So here, this count is invalidated. If this low is broken right there, if we break that low, this count is invalidated. This is not a 1, 2, but rather this is more like an ABC, and we're coming down for a 1 wave, and then we'll be coming back up for 2, down for 3, and so forth. So we'll have to revisit that count. So this is a quite challenging little section of the chart. I really don't have much more to give you except that we just need to be watching price. But overall, Bitcoin is doing what we're thinking it's doing. There's a couple of scenarios we're looking at. We're looking at a bump up here to the 5,700 mark as a potential for our final 5th wave, and then we're looking for a pretty strong drop. Now, if we've already hit that last bump up and the count is done, we're going to continue dropping from here. So regardless, we've got a drop coming. In my view, we've got a drop coming in the next day or so. Whether it happens tonight strongly, or it happens tomorrow or the next day, I believe a drop is coming. So if it's not dropping tonight, then we should expect to see a 1-2 right here, and that's what's being formed, and it's really a pretty decent little trade entry. If you entered right here, this is not financial advice, as we say. It's just a potential way of thinking about trades. So if we entered here, our stop loss would be just right underneath this place, because our account would be invalidated. So if we're thinking this is the bottom of a wave 2, we're coming up for 3. That might be a nice little place to enter a trade, just for what we call a scalp trade or a short-term trade, if we're expecting to see 5 waves up. Now, if we're expecting to see 5 waves, I should be able to throw the fibs on there. There's a 1, 2. So class, where should we target the 3? Well, if this is 1 and that's 2, we're going to target the 3 waves somewhere in this vicinity, right above the 1618. We're going to have 4 retrace down to here, and we'll have 5 coming up here to the $5,700 mark. That's probably the way this wave is going to play out, if it's a 1-2 that's being formed right now. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But what if it's not? Then what are we looking at? So if this continues down and breaks that low, what's the scenario then? Well, that's not an ABC that I've drawn. Actually, it would have to be a 1-2 3, because we're breaking that 1276. So this would actually have to turn out to be, let me draw the fibs on here for you. There's the low right there. Really need to be off of that. There we go. So what we need to see here, as we've got an A, B, let's see, an A, B, and C. Really can't see it in this chart. This is a tough one to throw the fibs on, but that's about right there. So what we'd be looking at here then is this is a one wave coming down. We had an ABC for a two wave, and now we're coming down for a three wave. And so this would have been the third. This is most likely the third wave. The fourth wave will come up here, and the fifth wave on down. That means if we got five waves coming down, what we're looking for, that would be five waves down. We'd be looking for three waves up, and then five more waves down. And that would probably take us. That would probably take us down to that $4,600 mark that we were looking at, $4,800 mark, if we were looking at that. Let me zoom out and just kind of show you what that might look like in the 1 hour chart. So if that's five waves coming down, we should be looking for then something like an a B, somewhere up here to a C. Let me get the RSI off there. There we go. So $5,000 maybe. That's just ballparking it, guys. Just kind of guessing as to what's going on. We're looking at price. Whoa, hey, we just took a dive here in Litecoin, and actually our Bitcoin is actually taking a dive as well. If we click over to Litecoin, we just had a little bit of a dump. That's very helpful. If we break this low here in Litecoin, then we're going down. This was the end of the correction. This would have been a one wave, two wave. We're coming down for three, and it looks like that's exactly what may be happening. If we don't break this low, then we'll have to reconsider that. So yeah, just kind of caught the Litecoin price there and that little plummet it's taking right now. So excellent. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing in the meantime here in the smaller time frames here. See what Bitcoin's doing. I've been surprised that Litecoin is actually just is moving so much more volatilely than Bitcoin is. And so I mean Bitcoin is going down, but Litecoin seems to be the first mover. It seems to be moving first and stronger and bigger moves than Bitcoin is. But Bitcoin is coming down to break this low. It looks like so this is not it looks like we're getting clarification right here in the video, which I like it. It's not breaking the low yet. It hasn't broken it. So we'll wait here a second and see. It looks like it's going to break though, but it may not. It may be a test. It may be a fake out to the downside. But if we come back over here to Litecoin, we'll notice I wanted to show you in Litecoin today that as we zoomed out, we did come down here and hit that that one-to-one extension. We hit it right to the tick. Then we had a reaction. Then we had a reaction off of it, right? So do we have a one and then a two and then we're coming up? I don't know. It just looking at it and looking at the price action right now, it looks like we're coming down here, guys. Looks like we're going to be breaking this area and coming down here to the $63 mark, and we'll be watching this as it continues. But I'm so glad to be able to get this on camera here so that you guys can kind of see how we think about trading as price is moving. So if we have a strong reaction, a bounce to the upside from here, and it doesn't break this low, then we're going to be thinking about our other scenario. But if price continues to come down, then we're going to be thinking we're going to be coming down in five waves and making a steeper correction. All right, guys. Well, there is our Litecoin and Bitcoin update today. Sorry, it's not more in depth. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information and too much live waiting and watching. We are getting a bit of a reaction in price here at this bottom. It hasn't broken this low yet, so we'll just kind of watch that and see if it breaks that low. We're coming down. If it bounces here and goes up, there's a good chance that's a good trade opportunity for you. All right, I hope that helps. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section. Like and subscribe and do all that jazz for me. And hey, you have a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you later.